Oblivious Maximus. I'm Ben Searle. Joining me is
Aaron. We got Christina in here with us today. Very excited to be on the mic.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we kind of want to bring people in kicking and screaming to talk on a podcast.
Having an anxiety attack. No problem.
have the pod Valiums ready to go.
Yeah? Wow.
No, I wish. If anyone's coming back from Vietnam soon, let me know.
That's the only reason why I came here, free drugs.
Yeah, so we've covered all the pre-record topics of shitting, medication.
Yeah.
Now that we're
That's my break the ice topic, Just go straight into it.
Yeah.
Now for periods.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here.
No problem.
Recently, obviously we got you in to talk about live music, which you're a participant of.
Yeah.
By way of, making it happen for people.
Yeah, totally.
Histamine shows recently, fucking awesome.
Yeah. They were really good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I mean, not for them. I just
Histamine, you're great.
they are awesome. Whenever I organize shows, I don't know why I organize shows because they always just stress me out so much when tickets don't sell, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not going to start ranting about the market after COVID and stuff. But the brick and mortar show was awesome.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how with before we started just now, with comedy, how asking for donations and but at the brick and mortar show, I had some I went around asking for donations and, I was trying to get my boyfriend to do it because I was like, you're a guy, they'll listen to you more, like me just making up all these excuses to not go talk to people basically. I went around and asked for donations and a bunch of people just chucked us a bunch of money and it was really nice.
Yeah. I think it's people want to help you, I think.
Yeah.
Well, for the most part. Not by buying tickets early, but
yeah, exactly.
But
they like to make me sweat, really.
Not by doing the thing you wish they would just do for you.
Yeah, for real.
when it's right in front of them, I feel like they can see the value straight away.
Yeah, well, that show was the brick and mortar show, popped off, and the walls got smashed even more, which looked really cool. And I saw you at the Tote show.
Yeah.
And
the Tote show was awesome too. I mean, I think I know the people in the band, but we played with them in Brisbane 2 weeks earlier.
Was that for Cold Day?
Yeah. And I'd seen them a while ago, but I hadn't seen them since the record had come out.
Yeah.
And so I was just very excited to see them post the record because the record's very good as well.
Yeah.
Seeing them up there, it was, it's a fun show, but it's a massive stage. It's
totally
a huge stage. There's a big barrier. It's very, there's a lot of division between where you're watching and when they're playing. And so I was very, I thought the Tote show was awesome, but then seeing the videos from the brick and mortar show, I was
it was really cool.
I should have gone to that.
It's also, I saw them I went up to Newcastle for the Last Ride Records showcase, and I feel like Histamine is one of those bands where I really like hardcore punk, but I feel like it falls into this niche where not a lot of people like hardcore punk. They like punk and they like hardcore,
sure.
Yeah.
So I felt like they didn't maybe get the reception that they deserve, but it's people do like them. They like the album, but people don't know how to dance really to hardcore punk because they're we can't throw down super hard. We're not supposed to pogo. So what's this middle vibe,
I feel like that's what the Perth scene is really good at. Those two
The Chain was sick at last Ride show.
Yeah.
So really cool.
And it seems like that scene, those are really together. Those shows, because there's not really a choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think it's always those cities that, we've been talking about quite a lot on here, that are oft maligned, the places that are not really the standard area, kind of, when I was younger growing up in Canberra, because every band has to play with each other, because the mosh bands have to play with the punk bands,
totally.
People just get over it and just start figuring out how to interact in that environment, where I think it's harder in places where there is enough music for there to be a division. There's enough music.
And Melbourne is huge. Melbourne, there's always so many shows, so many little different pockets, that you don't need a crossover to get people out, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that is both like the blessing and the curse of the big city is that like, yeah, you can basically exist in a one-track thing for ages and not have to interact at all with something else.
Yeah, totally.
But when you do,
well, how does it feel for you? Because I was born in Melbourne. Like this is what I've known my whole life, and I've lived overseas for a few years, but I've never lived like. I haven't come from like a smaller city or a smaller town in Australia. So it's like for you coming here, how does it feel for you? Like, do you want to move back to Canberra? Do you prefer that?
I think years ago, some years ago, I was like, yeah, I'll move back to Canberra. It would be very easy for me to do that. And then now I couldn't do it now.
Yeah, okay.
I am too used to
not enough stuff on.
There's just not enough stuff.
Yeah.
And I love all my friends there and my family, and I will go see them.
You don't want to bump into the Prime Minister while you're doing your shopping,
well,
in your pajamas or some shit.
People,
things to say.
people do know this, but my mum bought a car off Malcolm Turnbull once.
Wow. Did she look in the glove box? Is anything there?
Well, the funny thing was she bought it, and then after 2 years, the car started fucking up heaps, and she was
what a freaking dog.
And he became the Prime Minister. And Mum's like, fucking Prime Minister sold me a lemon.
I mean, look what he did to the NBN. Surely, just see that.
Yeah,
not buying a fucking car off this cunt.
No, this country's going down the toilet.
Yeah, he fucked it. But no, I don't when I first moved here, I was the enthusiastic, because every time I'd been here was on a tour. And so when I moved here, I was like, well, that's going to be my life. I'm just going to be at shows every day. And to be honest, for the first couple of years, I kind of was almost at shows every day. And then I settled into living like a normal person. But
yeah.
No, I mean, I think I don't think I could go back to smaller town stuff now. I'm too ingrained in I want to go do stuff every weekend, and I want different things to be on. And, I think that's the benefit of living in a city like this.
Yeah, totally. Especially when you're a creative person, and you do bands and your friends are involved in the things that you're doing,
Yeah.
It's not you guys all go herd sheep together or some shit. Then it would make it easier to move out to a smaller town, Not saying that all people do in smaller towns is
start a
cheap,
commune.
So, yeah.
Quite a bunch of like-minded farmers.
Yeah. I'm sure that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is.
Get some sort of grant.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I think briefly, I guess around 2021, lived down in grew up in Melbourne, outer suburbs of Melbourne, and then
whereabouts?
Wandon North, which is
South side?
It's past Lilydale. It's I
don't know where that is.
Country-ish.
Deep east.
Oh, okay.
I say Yarra Valley, but it's kind of to the not the nice. Well, I mean, it is nice, but it's not. It's more country than the Yarra Valley. Oh, yeah. But yeah, and then lived in Warrnambool, which is regional, and then was at uni down there and spent every weekend coming up for shows. And it was just, if you're into that stuff, it's just eventually you're I got to move.
Yeah. This commute's killing me.
This commute's killing me. Maybe somewhere Castlemaine's not really that far away. But it seems like there's plenty of shows on there. There's plenty of stuff on.
Yeah.
There's be something on probably both Friday and Saturday nights these days.
Yeah.
I guess I wonder how that, talking to people about Bendigo.
Yeah.
It seems like it used to kind of have a pretty thriving scene, and then
isn't Trash Cult there?
Trash Cult is there. Yeah. I think it's still.
I feel like places like that are also a stepping stone. It's if you're from further out, maybe you'll move there and then you go to those kind of shows and then you move into the city and then you move back out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first moved here, I was going to uni, and when I was at uni here, I found it very hard to actually transfer my degree because the Melbourne campus was oh, we have to give preference to people from Ballarat. And I was and it took me 3 years. So for the first 2 years of my uni, I only picked classes that didn't have exams, because if I got an exam, I'd have to go back to Canberra to do the exam. They're you can do the class here, but you'll just have to go to Canberra to do the exam. Yeah. And I was all right, well, I'll just only pick classes that don't have it because these fucking people from Ballarat.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the, I guess the cool thing here, particularly with shows and stuff now, is that you can, I mean, I feel the last couple of weeks have been a little bit of a lull, which happens obviously. But I mean, I'd say like broadly, you know, over the course of 2 months, you can go to like various different shows across any week. And generally speaking, like they'll be pretty well attended and will, you know, and I think the other thing too that's really good here is that there is a really good variance in sizes of rooms and stuff like that too. Like you can play Old Bar or you can play the Tote and there's like stepping blocks between each one or Last Chance or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas in Canberra, like there's 2 venues and one is small and one is massive.
Yeah.
Like that's the options you have, you know? And I think that's like a great asset to what we have here.
Honestly, setting up, I'm working on like the power plant tour that's coming up next month. And I was setting up, the Canberra show has been one of the hardest shows to set up. It was just a real pain in the ass. The venues were fine. It was just like trying to like work out a band. Like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it, you know? But I'm friends with a guy there that plays in some hardcore bands and plays in like a Ramones core like worship band, like Shock Treatment.
Yeah. And, the drummer from I Exist, my band, is in Shock Treatment.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, they're going to play.
Sick.
They did me a solid. I was like, do you just want to play this damn show? Because I cannot find a band. You know what I mean? I was just like.
They're a very good band.
Yeah, I really like them. They actually played with a band that I toured last year, Dark Thoughts, that are a Ramones worship band as well from Philly. And they were awesome. The show was fun. And the guys in that band were really cool. So, yeah.
How many sort of tours are you kind of doing a year at the moment? It seems like there's always kind of one boiling away.
Yeah, I usually use the start of the year to kind of just like reset after like a hectic end of the year touring, you know. But I usually do like maybe 2. And then I think this year I'm doing next week I've got Edon, who's like a 2000s DJ from New York coming in just to do Melbourne shows. Right. And he's playing with, I think Eddie Current Suppression Ring asked for him.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then basically I think he's like not big enough for like an actual promoter to like tour. So Woody, who books at Fed Square, was like, I'll ask Christina, you know. I'm like, thanks, I think. But it's actually, I'm looking forward to that. And it's something different. It's kind of interesting to work with like a different scene.
Yeah.
I'm usually doing just like hardcore and punk and stuff. And then the power plant one, I reached out to them. I kind of just wanted to do something. Yeah, I don't know. I just was like trying to find something that like I know I'm getting older and I want to remember that younger people are into like different things. And it's like power plant, like the guys are kind of younger, like they're in their like mid to late 20s. And they've all played in like hardcore and punk bands in the UK, but like they're also exploring like a different sound. And I kind of wanted to like, I thought it would be interesting to work with people that, like come from like the same scene and DIY, but are like exploring like contemporary sounds of what underground younger people are into today, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like that stuff's so important to doing this.
Totally.
Like you can't just keep doing the same shit over and over again.
And it's all right to have your own like friendship group and stuff, but you know, even when you're younger, you saw older people kind of just get stuck in like their friends' bands and like, you know, not really supporting younger people coming through, but it's like, you know that they are where it's at. You know? It's like we're getting older, we have the skills to organize stuff, but they have like this like ignorant creativity that is important.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, I think like the benefit of age should be lifting people up. It should not be alienating or trying to increase yourself.
Like, totally. You know.
Well, I think with the gig I was running, Catfish, I handed it off to some like newer comics.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I had this in mind when I did hand it to them, but I was like,
were they funnier than you?
No, but but they're getting there. They're getting there. No, they're good. But I guess I was like, well, I'm 37 and I can promote the show and do that and do all the normal marketing stuff. But my friends are all my age and are not going to come to a Tuesday comedy show.
Yeah.
Whereas they're 21, 22.
Yeah, totally.
They're getting a new audience in. Like they're just purely by them being on the socials and them doing that. And it's like kind of reinvigorated the gig a bit. Not that it was kind of on the down or anything, but I guess it was just like, well, you need a young crowd is going to be out on a Tuesday night having beers and stuff like that. You need that. And then also them booking the show now, they're going to probably put on comedians that I probably wouldn't have looked at.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's kind of important to do. Like,
like kind of like widen your circle, but not in like a way of like networking, but just in like getting people involved and like, I don't know. I was going to say something I forgot. Sorry.
No, I think I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit on here, and I would say like the thing that we are trying to do with this, not that it's, I mean, I think we're doing okay at it, but like we're also trying to get like younger bands to be on the podcast and stuff as well, because it's like, again, as well, like we don't want to just be like echo chambery. I mean, we sort of are being like broadly Melbourne leftists, but like, I mean, I think like broadly, like, you know, we have to get other people into this thing too, because like that's the point of doing this. We can't just talk to the same fucking people all the time. Like, we have to change who we're talking to. And
Zoom interviews are annoying to edit, so I can understand why you do mostly Melbourne people.
Yes.
But I have noticed that, like, you know, if bands tour through and stuff, you guys try to get them on. So,
yeah. And I mean, that's the, like, I guess now we're at the point where, like, we're basically hitting up anyone that comes through. So sorry in advance if you have planned to book a show in Melbourne.
Glad to know where I'm at on the list. Just looking through that trash pile. Christina does stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so if you got nothing on,
we're trying to spread our wings.
I'll be hitting you up. But so I guess booking like a DJ, for example, what's it been like having to deal with different, so you're doing different venues and stuff than you would usually do?
Doing Shot Kickers, which I've booked at before, but is not like a go-to of mine. And then The Curtain just for like a Sunday vibe.
Yeah.
I've been working with Woody and another person to organize it, which is good because like in terms of DJs, I just have no idea who to reach out to. You know? But they've like taken care of that, and I've just taken care of like all the logistical stuff, you know. And I think with like booking and like organizing tours, there's two things I hate that I do, but I hate doing it. And one's promo, and the other one is sorting out gear. And they're both happy to take care of those. So
sick.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
Yeah. Because even like with you talking about promo, it's just like trying to have to sell yourself or like, you know, ask people to like, you know, like convince people to come out to something where you're like, I think it's good. You should come too. You know, it's just like, ugh. And then people don't come. And then like, I feel like I've let everybody down. Like, it's like this whole emotional roller coaster. I don't know why I do it.
Yeah. I would
just
like
punishing myself.
Yeah. Running that gig every Tuesday, I would be like, Tuesdays were just a write-off for me.
Yeah.
Because like I'd wake up and I'd be like, how many fucking tickets have I sold?
Yeah, totally.
And just,
what was the cap there? Seated?
Seated would be like 50 normally, and we could add seats and stuff as well. So, but like if it was like above 25, I'm like, good. You winning.
Yeah. And you got to put some like fake like people in the seats during COVID. And
I got a lot of stuff I can do to that room. Like we were at a show there the other day, which was like pretty well attended, but not like crazy busy. And I was like, yeah, there's some tables you can move around, and there's some fucking black tablecloths back there. It's just such a long room. That catfish room. But yeah, the promo side of it, you're like, whenever someone is like, I'll take that on, I'm like, thank fuck.
Yeah.
For that.
Well, people offer like to me, they're like, you know, I'll help you with street postering, but I feel bad. I'm like, if I don't want to do it, I feel like I shouldn't like make someone else do it, but I should really just take people up on it, I guess. But speaking of the weekly thing, I did like a radio show on Triple R for like 5 years, and then like I do fill-ins every now and then, but one of the reasons why I quit was just, it was like, so much work to get together every week. Volunteer, which is fine. Like most people at Triple R are volunteer. And it was great to do, but I feel like after a while, because it's weekly, you just start to lose your passion for it because you're just exhausted, you know?
And like, what was the show called again?
It's Teenage Hate. It's still on.
Yeah.
And Tim still does it. And me and Joel will like cover for him when he's like taking a holiday or whatever. But Yeah, Sunday night, 10 to 12, I'm like, everyone's in bed. I want to be in bed. No one's listening, you know? And it's like, you can listen back, but I'm like, I don't know, Sunday nights, I'm like.
Radio, we were talking about this the other week, how like radio really is, you know, I guess, I think a lot of people think that doing a radio show too is just like popping on a playlist and just sitting there. And like, it isn't. Like, you definitely have to think about what you're doing and you have to be actively participating in it too.
I like fully will just, because it's like punk music as well. It's like a 2-hour show and it's not like the songs are like 5 minutes each, you know, it's like literally like 44 songs like every 2 hours. And then every song I'll like research because like my memory is like a black hole. I don't remember anything, you know, so I have to like write these detailed notes and it takes me about like, if I'm going to do a good show, it takes me a good 8 hours, you know, to set up a 2-hour show.
Yeah. It's like, and when it's like, you like finish the thing and then it's like, have like a breath and then it's like start thinking about next week.
Yeah, exactly. The good thing about it was it made me like keep up to date with all like current like punk and hardcore and like what was coming out and everything. And you know, when I'm not doing it, I just listen to like the same Turnstile album or some shit for like 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
People are like, have you listened to this band? I'm like, I don't care.
Are you a album person? Like, do you listen to a record the whole way through?
It's funny because I was listening to your podcast and you were saying that you like to listen to it from start to finish. I mean, that definitely makes sense. I feel like an album is a piece of art. And when you when you lay out the songs, you lay them out in a way that like kind of like has some sort of story to it, you know? But I'm just trying to think the last album I listened to. Usually like. Cause
the answer is no.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, it's just interesting to me, and I think often people who do radio are like playlist people because like you clearly have that in your head, and I think that's probably why I've never, I've had interest in doing that stuff, but I've never looked into it too much because I am like I've done some hosting stuff, like guest hosting stuff in the past, and I would say I was bad at it because I was like, well, this song kind of sounds like this song.
Yeah.
Like I was basically trying to create an album, but it was just based on different songs. You know? Like, and that kind of isn't how you should do it. Like
with a radio show?
With a radio show.
No, when I did the radio show, I would basically just do it in segments, like 5 songs, like things that they had in common. But like in organizing it, something that I got good at was that I could listen to like 2 seconds of a song and know straight away whether it would work or not. So I could just skip through it. I'd be like, no, yes. Like, you know, and put all these things together. So
I feel like the cohesiveness of a playlist, because I feel like whenever I make a playlist, it's got to make sense in order as well. And I don't know if that's like I'm 37 and if I'm into someone, I'll still make them a playlist. And I'm like, when does that go away?
I think that's so nice, you know, because it means that you're like, you're considering them. You know? It's like a thought, like you're thinking of them, you know. Well, obviously not as thoughtful as a mixtape, you know.
Yeah, I got to get the tape deck out. But sometimes someone will be like, oh, I listened to that playlist you made. I listened to it on shuffle. I'm like, what the hell?
That was meticulously planned.
Yeah, just blocked on fucking Hinge or whatever. You know. This obviously isn't going to work out.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Playlists are such a complicated thing. I read this book recently about like playlists and Spotify, and the person that did the book actually came out to Melbourne recently. And
did that talk?
Yeah, I couldn't go because I had to work, but the book was really interesting and also super scary, just talking about like AI and music and stuff. But on like the flip side of that, I made like this hardcore punk playlist on Spotify and it just like popped off. Like lots of people liked it or whatever. But then I had like people reaching out to me wanting to buy the playlist off me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
I'm not making money off it, so I don't know why people would want to buy it off me. You know,
that's wild.
What would there be to gain from buying a playlist?
Clout.
That's what you're selling these days. Maybe no more shows. Just start selling playlists.
I'm just gonna like sell T-shirts with my face.
Yeah, because I guess like then if it's a big playlist, then they could sell to bands being on it.
That's true. Yeah.
Like that's I guess that's kind of a thing now.
And I have had bands reach out to me being like, can we can you put us on the playlist? But
really? That's funny.
I've had some like crazy bands. Like one guy I reached out and was like, can you put me on the playlist? And his song was a cover of a Rancid song. And I was like, if I was going to put a Rancid song on it, I'd put a Rancid song on it. I'm not going to put a cover of a Rancid song on it.
It was, I mean, it was very funny when Speed did they did like an Australian hardcore playlist for Spotify, I think a year ago, and put a couple Extortion songs in it. And it like, we were just talking in Extortion how like we got so many more Spotify.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, like it like cranked the Spotify.
Yeah.
So thank you, Speed, for doing that. But it was very funny because it was just like, you know, I guess me being in a band, and I like, you know, all their records weren't on Spotify. So like, or just on streaming in general, like everything was on Bandcamp, and Rowan was kind of like, can you just get it on there? So we uploaded everything other than, you know, a couple little things that he was happy to not be on there, but we put everything up, and then it was kind of like, you know, it is just getting shared in the echo chamber of people who already listen to Extortion or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And then, but getting put on this thing, then it really like, it went psycho. Like it really pushed those songs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think we were talking about it when Tom was here, how like the Metho record actually charted in the ARIA chart because he didn't put it on streaming. He only put it on Bandcamp. So the only way to listen to it was to go through.
That's smart.
Yeah, like the system that then pushed it, which was quite funny. But the Extortion record did as well, but only because we had a company help us like do the shipping.
Yeah, right.
And so because they were doing the shipping, they were logging like the units that were being sold.
So complicated.
And it was like, it was really funny that like, again, not that this matters at all for anything or like.
Do you have that on your resume? Like ARIA chart topper, Extortion?
Well, it didn't top anything.
ARIA chart bottomer?
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was just very funny that like, oh, that's how that happens.
Yeah.
Like, and you could tell that when people who do care about that stuff or are interested in that being important to them,
there's ways to manipulate it.
Yeah, there is quite simple ways to manipulate.
Yeah, and you look at those lists, and you're like, who the hell is listening to this band? Like this trash music, you know? And I mean, most of the time people just listen to that music, and I don't understand it, and that's fine. But a lot, like, there's also times where you just find ways to like manipulate it.
Yeah,
I guess.
I remember a big way, and I don't know if it's still. I might be spreading complete misinformation here. Podcast 101. But I remember that there was, at least at a time, the hack of getting into the ARIA chart was setting up pre-orders and just making really good merch for pre-orders, because people would buy the merch and then it came with like a digital download of the record. You wouldn't even have to buy the record.
Or even like ticket, like if you do a show and then like with the ticket sale, you get like a free album.
Yeah. And then that like gasses numbers, and then they're like, oh, we've actually sold a fucking zillion records. And it's just, well, it's the digital record of the ticket.
Is this some sort of plan for the next Extortion record then?
Yes. This is how I win.
Yeah. This is how you become a millionaire. In the hardcore punk scene.
The playlist stuff is wild. Like I swapped over to Tidal, and it like doesn't. And I find that I'm actually listening to a lot more newer music.
Yeah,
and
right.
I've kind of bought a few more things as well from Bandcamp and stuff. But I don't think I kind of realized the Spotify thing of how much it sort of like locks you in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's so easy to use. It's easier to use than Apple. And I don't have Spotify anymore. I use YouTube, but that's kind of, it's not music focused, and all I watch now is air crash investigations. I have to get like Tidal. Maybe I'll go on, like, if you recommend that, maybe I'll try out Tidal.
Well, it definitely has like the problems that Spotify kind of used to have of like, I'm listening to an artist and then all of a sudden there's like a trip hop song of the same artist name. Like they haven't figured out how to split it. And I was like, but in a way, it's like more intentional. And I would find that when I'd ever open Spotify, I'm like, what is all this shit on the main screen?
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to fucking listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. Fuck the off. Like, this would have all this shit on the front
Don't
of it. Yeah, no.
Well, not anymore.
Only a compilation of the most insane ideas on YouTube.
Yeah. Every time he throws to some lie on a screen.
Yeah.
I think the hard thing for us, and we haven't talked about it on here, but we've definitely been talking about, is that like for podcasts now, Spotify is such a massive platform. Yeah. I mean, we literally use it to upload it now. Like that's how we get this on the internet. Mm. And I want to get off it personally. But like there is just it's such a complex thing to navigate now because everyone is using it. Like,
for real.
And
I think the thing I think about is like, I talked about it a bit in my show. I was like, I really went all in on Spotify a few years ago, and like, I think a lot of people did, and still buy stuff from bands, but probably not as many physical albums.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like then the price goes up, and you're like, oh, they could just do this indefinitely, and I mean they literally will.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that this is probably the problem of every subscription based service is like, fuck, I don't own anything anymore.
Yeah.
Or like, particularly, I think Spotify started to be like, oh, okay, I have to kind of wean myself off this.
I think you gotta think about the trade-off, I guess. And it's like in the end, and like in the most simplest terms, like capitalism is being able to like them making money, and it's like you're using Spotify as well for your advantage to like put out a podcast and like get people to listen to your music. But at some point you're like, at what cost and what's better?
Yeah.
It's just sometimes like with Spotify, it's easier like not to think sometimes. And it's like actively using a different platform like Spotify might be easy to upload and stuff, but then like you actually have to put in more time to like maybe do something. Do something else.
And it's definitely like I will do it. I just have to figure out how.
No, that's totally fine. I think with everything, like we live in a world where there's like, I still use Google, and Google is just as like complicit in like things that Spotify as people eat McDonald's, it's like there's always like, it's like I don't know where this t-shirt came from. Hayes or China.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just like slowly weaning yourself off that, because I think it's like
and supporting Australian companies.
Yes.
Thanks, Board Dry, for the water.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was like maybe like a morning of me going like using something to like transfer shit across the title and going like, well, that didn't fucking transfer across properly. And then now I don't. Now it's done. Like and it was just like a kind of a fuck around, and it was actually kind of good because I'm listening to newer stuff, and then I guess Tidal in itself is not like, I'm sure they're not fucking angels.
Yeah, for real.
But I know that they do at least give more money to artists.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm aware, are not actively supporting the military.
Yeah, for real.
Not providing AI weaponry.
Yeah, not building the Matrix, as far as I know.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Matrix.
Yeah.
Better than this shithole.
You brought in some gag scenes. Speaking of physical media.
I was like, what do I have that I can... I was actually going to make weed cookies, and then I ran out of time. I was like, I don't know if they actually like weed or anything.
All right, duck back home.
That would have been awesome.
Next time.
But I think one like a show that like when I'm like, people are like, what's one of the best hardcore shows you've ever been to? Gag at Howler.
Oh, yeah.
Like is a show where I'm like, that was truly psycho.
That was really fun. Yeah. That's cool that you went to that. And yeah, it was like, I think that was like the first international tour that I did outside of like on the other side of COVID. And it was like a real last minute thing. Like Matto couldn't do it. And then I had toured. I lived in the States, and I did a band in the States, and God, I can't remember his name now that like I'm all nervous and stuff. But like the drummer of Gag did Olympia Hardcore Fest, and he did me a solid, and like he didn't know me, but he put my band on the fest because we were just happened to be touring through. And then when The singer of Primitive Blast, what's his name again?
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. So Ryan hit me up and was just like, sorry, I'm forgetting everybody's names because I'm just like talking to people. But he hit me up and was like, Gag, are looking to tour. Can you do it? But I only had like a 3-month window to organize it or something. So, and they only had like a week to tour in Australia. So I was like, that's all right. It's just 5 days or whatever. And because I had a limited amount of time, a lot of the venues that I would usually go to were booked already. But the sound system at Howler was sick. And, you know, they got that little green room up the top. And the stage was really good.
I think that Gag show there, because I'd played Howler years ago, but there had not been like heavy or this kind of stuff there in fucking ages.
I feel like that show kind of like kicked off.
It certainly is.
Hardcore shows.
It's why Extortion booked the record launch there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because Jay was like the Gag. I didn't go. Sorry, I was not available to. But
shame.
Jay was like
supporting the scene now. Just kidding.
Jay was like, we should play there. The Gag show. That was awesome.
Yeah. It was just like
they were really nice. They like they got me on stage to like play the cover, like, and they're like, "Do you play guitar?" I'm like, "Kinda." I'm like, I think they just turned their other guitar up, you know, to just drown out how terrible I was doing. But and every show they let me get on stage and play the cover like guitar, and it was like so much fun.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it was just like a great vibe, and I was like, "Oh fuck this!" You know, I've been to that venue a lot over the years, and have seen like, you know, more like sort of like just punk stuff there, but not heavier stuff. And
they do comedy there as well, I think.
Well, every now and then. It's a real like I've been to.
You do a raw comedy thing?
A raw heat there, where I did not get through. I've been to my housemate did a burlesque show because it's like my housemate did a burlesque show there, and then a week later I went to the Iron Mine show. Very different vibe. But it's like a good. I mean, it's one of my favorite venues. And I think it was great to go to something there again. And I was like, "Fuck, this is such a good stage. It's got plenty of space." And and that was just, they were just sick. And then the dance party after, obviously awesome.
Yeah, dance party was fun. They did that at every show. And I think that was the best dance party everybody got on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They were really nice. It was a good tour.
And if you want any of their CDs, Christina's got shitloads of them.
I'm just going to start giving them away to everybody.
I think that's a common theme. A through line of this podcast is people having leftover merch. Like, it's, you know, I think people think that bands really are like really moving. I mean, some bands are moving actual units of merch, but most
Extortion doesn't do too bad.
Yeah, do good.
Yeah.
I mean, but that being said, if you want a small, baby, Extortion's got smalls. You want a 2XL, Extortion's got a fuckload of 2XL.
Yeah, right.
So, it's not like
even booking, like every time I do a tour, it's such a hard guess on what numbers of merch to do, because you also don't want to like make it to the last city and you only have the shit sizes, and then it looks like you don't appreciate like that last city, you know, but then you don't want to like end it and then you got all this merch.
Well, when Iron Lung were here, they had this massive problem of like they basically sold all their merch in Brisbane and Sydney.
That's wild.
Then probably the biggest shows of the tour, Melbourne and Perth.
Yeah.
They had no merch. Like all they had
they didn't get any reprints or anything?
Well, they were just terrified, like, because they were about to go to Japan and they
can't bring it into Japan.
Yeah, and they had more merch, you know, to meet them in Japan. And they're like, well, we don't want to get stuck with it. We don't want to lump people here with it.
They would have made another couple of grand if they'd like done a reprint.
Yeah. So listen up, Iron Lung, next time. No, I mean,
we gotta have a printer on the go.
Yeah.
Well, but we were kind of saying to them, like, we can hang on to it because they did that for us. Because I
mean, Max has a store, you know. It's like, just sell it in the shop.
We when we went to the States, we like completely overshot it.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Because we had no idea. And it wasn't like crazy. It was more we got the wrong sizes.
Yeah.
Like we overshot the sizes.
So you're going to see a lot of homeless people in the States wearing small Extortion t-shirts then?
Well, hopefully, someone's got to wear them. But we ended up getting Iron Lung to send us a bunch of the merch we left with them so that we didn't have to print more stuff here. And it was actually worked out like cheaper to just get them to send us like
wild
boxes and boxes of 2XLs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jay's still got a shitload of 2XLs in his house, for sure. So what's coming up? So you got the power plant thing coming up.
Power plant. the Edon DJ thing is next week. I've organized a show for Cold Meat from Perth.
Yeah.
They're playing at the Tote mid-November. I feel like what else am I doing? I'm helping like two of the guys from Split System organize like a back-to-back tour early next year that's coming up. So they're booking that. Stay tuned, I guess.
Nice.
I feel like I always have so much on the go, and then when people ask me, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like playing lots of Donkey Kong. Speaking of which, I don't know. What do you reckon?
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
I spend so much time smashing stuff. It's like relaxing.
So this is
Have you played it?
I haven't
Switch
played
2?
it yet. Haven't got the Switch 2 yet.
Yeah, I got the Switch 2. I basically got it for that.
Yeah.
Because I saw a video and I was like, this looks fucking awesome. I'm not a gamer person. I don't have that in me, but
you just had to spare $1,000 to drop on a Switch 2.
I did. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Full-time work. Yeah.
But I was a big Nintendo kid.
Yeah.
And so
you're the target demo.
I'm the target demo. Absolutely. Like they got me in their crosshairs, Nintendo. But I was a big Super Nintendo kid. Then I was a massive 64 kid.
Same.
So Donkey Kong 64, I ripped the shit out of that.
Yeah.
It broke a TV, which is my big story with it.
This is like Wii breaking.
Oh yeah,
TVs,
this is
the OG TV breaker.
This is not a TV like that. This is a glass, box. It was living in Taiwan and playing Donkey Kong 64. You can get 200 bananas, but there's a 201st secret banana. And it's like it's probably easy, but it was very challenging for me at 11 years old or whatever to do it. And I'd been like playing it all afternoon after school. And it was exactly as my dad walked in the door. I failed for the 500th time that afternoon. And I threw the controller at the screen and it just smashed the screen. And I was like that thing, when a kid does something wrong, like I literally was like, oh,
yeah.
Like not only have I fucked everything, I'm
Your
like,
dad saw it.
My dad saw it, and he just walked over and unplugged the 64, and he was like, "No more Nintendo." And I was like, "The 201st banana."
I mean, it's a bit late now. The TV's broken, so I could have done anything anyway.
Anyway, 20 years later, I'm going to buy a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Cuts to like the Switch 2 just frisbeeing out the window. You're like, fucking bananas. Apparently, by the way, someone beat the whole Donkey Kong game without collecting any bananas. So that's a thing that you can also do.
I got to go back. No, but yeah, if for anyone who's got a spare 1,000, Switch 2 is sick. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Or Nintendo, if you want to send this.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, maybe we should start a gaming podcast. Is that how you get free stuff?
I think that's the way to go.
Thank you for free water, but I want
free
Nintendos. So where can people find everything for you? Where are they looking?
I guess my Instagram has everything, which is blow_blood with 3 Ds because I got hacked like 3 years ago and they took my handle. I don't really have a website. I'm really bad at promo, which is also I did like a label, and the reason why I stopped doing a label was because I was really terrible at I'm happy to like put stuff out and help people, but just really bad at like going into shops and being like, will you take copies,
Yeah.
So
that's why you got all these gag CDs.
I know. Yeah.
So find it, Blow Blood
on Instagram, and I guess that's it. Sorry.
Never apologize. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on the show. Yep.
Pleasure. So, what do you got?
I think Geelong Comedy Festival, Thursday, 30th of October.
Nice.
Come to that. I think this will be out by the time Benny goes on.
Yeah.
And then, just say good day.
Nice.
How about you, man?
And you're looking for a job, aren't you?
I'm looking for a job. Hopefully by the time this comes out, I'll have found one. But
or you've become $1 million comedy person.
Yeah. Maybe Canberra is the Austin of Australian podcasting. Really
keep Canberra weird.
Yeah.
I've just got Aglo and I Exist shows. So go to those Instagrams. Now that Hawthorn aren't playing in the grand final, the show I'm playing.
Sober.
Yeah, the show I'm playing on grand final day I'll be fine for. So
what about Extortion? Anything coming up with Extortion?
Not at the minute. We are writing a new record.
Ooh.
When I say we, I mean the band Extortion are writing a new record, and I am watching them write a record. I'll do the logistics.
Giving them the thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They asked my opinion, which is nice, and it's always sounds like Extortion. Great.
Like, is it more than 10 seconds? I don't know.
Yeah, so we're doing a new Extortion record at some point. But yeah, should be good.
Sweet.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.